I know that what I'm about to say is very controversial, but I do believe that YEONHWA is actually quite an underrated unit in Summoner's War, specifically against cleave teams and turn cycling teams. So YEONHWA, which you're about to see, is going to do, when she's attacked, she's going to go into her song playing state, which is going to decrease HP and attack power of the enemy, whatever enemies are getting a turn. So we're going to see it right now. She goes into her song playing state. Actually, she did not get the cocky. She didn't get the cocky. Lucian doesn't have an attack power buff. He does have an attack power break from YEONHWA, which gave them the opportunity to actually survive the Lucian amputation magic. No attack power buff, attack power break. Lucian does very, very little damage. They actually got unlucky with the YEONHWA team for not landing the debuff on the cocky, but they still managed to survive. So right now, Veramos is cleansing all the debuffs. Veramos is healing the team, allowing them to stay alive longer. And then she goes into her song playing state again, which is going to suck up more of the enemy HP and also attack power, break them. And any debuffs that the Nephthys is going to do with her AoEs is just going to do more harm than good, right? It's just going to keep healing the Veramos. So let's take a look at some more matches, and we'll see a little bit more of YEONHWA in action. Next match, same guy. He actually wound up getting G1 from that last match with YEONHWA. He winds up picking her yet again, bans out the Diana, bans out the attack power buffer from that team. So the nice thing about YEONHWA in here is Asima will cycle turns, right? So YEONHWA is, and also Veramos is going to do, Veramos June is going to do quite a lot here with all those debuffs on that side. They're going to do quite a lot. So Veramos actually winds up cutting in and stunning the Asima. But even if he didn't stun the Asima was going to take an attack power break either way. We're going to see in a second. Asima is going to take an attack power break as soon as she gets a turn. Attack power break right there. And then Poseidon's going to take an attack power break and all those things. Actually, when Poseidon decreased the attack, Veramos is doing quite a lot here. Can we just appreciate that one of these is a low tier 4-star that they're using this to beat a double LD5 team, right? Very, very strong team. They're using a low-tier 4-star, YEONHWA. A lot of people don't give her credit. Veramos, which is a fusion unit. Riley, which is a fusion unit. And the only thing that they had in here that was not an easily attainable unit is Juno. Everything else, and winning a G1 match, all very, very easily attainable units. Next match, completely different player. Again, another G1 match. Picking YEONHWA, picking Juno Veramos. I mean, they are going into a lot of debuffs, right? As soon as you pick Nephthys, anything that cleanses debuffs, like the Juno's strong, the Veramos is strong. Juno gets banned out. So, goes into her song playing state. So, Dark Weapon Master. Again, this is a double LD5 team, right? Dark Weapon Master doesn't really too much, and then he dies from the Douglas. I'm not going to sit here and say Douglas is not a strong unit. They didn't pick strong units with Douglas and Nana. They definitely did. But you saw what YEONHWA did there. She decreased the attack power of the Dark Weapon Master. And she just passively. She doesn't even need to get a turn doing it. She's a great unit for turn 2 players against aggressive, fast arena offenses. RTA teams, aggressive, fast RTA teams. She nerfed the Lucian. She nerfed the Dark Weapon Master as well. Next match, same player on the right-hand side, different player on the left-hand side. Seems like everyone has Nephthys and a bunch of LD5s. I mean, really, everyone has a bunch of LD5. In RTA, anyway. It's just LD5 after LD5. But it doesn't necessarily mean that LD5 and LD5 and LD5 win, because as we're seeing here, it's very similar on the right-hand side. They got the Veramos, they got the YEONHWA, they got the Riley, they got 3 easily attainable units. Juno is the only one that you have to actually summon. Well, you have to summon YEONHWA, but she's a 4-star. It's much easier to summon a 4-star. So you guys like, I disagree. It's not easier to summon a 4-star than a 5-star. But we're seeing here, fast aggressive team on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, picking the YEONHWA, picking a bunch of passives that cleanse the team, and then we have Riley, who's also passively stacks her totems, and you can't cool down her ult, which you guys know. I don't have to tell you guys that that's what that does. But it's just really cool to see YEONHWA. It's really cool to see people that appreciate YEONHWA and actually win. And this is where you pick her. You pick her into these fast, aggressive teams where they're looking to turn cycle a lot. She's also good against Diana. She's good against CR. She's good against, what else is she good against? Oliver. She's good against things that keep turn cycling. Turn cycle, turn cycle, turn cycle. They keep reducing their own. Every time they get turns, it winds up working. I mean, they still get the value of the turns, but it reduces the value from every turn that they get. So it's just really nice, a unit against those fast, aggressive ones. I built this on my Asia server account. I think it's basically GG at this point. But I built this on... Actually, I didn't build it for RTA. I was going to say I built it for RTA on my Asia server cat. That's not true. I built it for TOA Hell on Asia server for a video that we did showing like an auto TOA Hell team with that and Bulwark, because I didn't have Bulwark on any other account. And built the YEONHWA. And then I was looking for... I don't have Diana there. I don't have Feng Yan there. I don't have a lot of Wind Bruisers there. And I was looking for Wind Bruiser options to counter fast, aggressive teams. I'm like, there's like a missing spot in my monster box for Wind Bruiser options that are good against fast, aggressive teams. And then I started using YEONHWA, and I was also using the Wind on Miyuji as well. I'm like, these units are so underrated. These are so great because when I need to pick these Wind Bruisers passively for taking turn 2, I'm like, these units are fantastic for what... I'm not saying they're super ridiculous, insane top tier. I'm just saying, like, they definitely work for a certain purpose. I know you guys getting tired of those G1 matches. Let's see a C1 match now. Let's see how the draft differs. Let's see. So they're not picking the Juno. They're not picking the Veramos. They're not picking... I mean, they first picked Wusa. So, bans out the Asima. Actually, depending on what the pick ban phase had in store and if they had will runes or not, they didn't necessarily have to ban the Asima. So let's see what winds up happening here. We got the attack power break on the... They actually didn't... I think Kaki is immune to attack power breaks is what we've what we've noticed from this. But they did get at least the attack power break on the Water Phantom Thief. So the Molly's going to do a lot of work here. The YEONHWA is going to do a lot of work here. Look how many attack power breaks are on the opponent's team. Aside from the Kinky. Although sometimes Kinky is all... If Kinky Violent procs, there you go. Sometimes Kinky is all you need. Right? So, and then she wasn't in her song playing state at the time. If she was, then even the Violent procs, you would have potentially taken some attack power breaks for those Violent procs. But Xingzhe, you guys know he's got the passive that reduces the amount of... There we go. There's the actual... There's the actual attack power break on that unit. So this is another great example of another fast, aggressive team that they were fighting. They brought the YEONHWA in. Fantastic, and a bunch of other units that have passives. Now we're just going to have a little discussion on her skills and her runes. Surprisingly enough, she can get away with some pretty terrible garbage runes. So that's going to be great for a lot of you that are not fast and don't have LD5s and have garbage runes. This is a great unit for you guys. You should really appreciate more. So this is not one of the accounts that we saw earlier. Those were other players. This one that we're going to see right now is on my Asia server alt account. I brought her in and I was using her in RTA on this account because I don't have things like Diana, I don't have Feng Yan, I don't have Xingzhe on this account. I have them on my main, I have them on my Europe or whatever, but I don't have them on this. So I was trying to see what we actually had on this account that could fit into some of those roles as a wind unit for a turn 2 bruiser kind of situation. So I've been using YEONHWA and I've been using Zhao, and they're actually better than people realize. So first skill, Glancing Hit, which is pretty nice against specific units that she goes against. Like, for example, Diana. She could be used against Diana because she continually sucks up HP from Diana every time Diana procs, as well as Ciara, as well as Oliver, as well as things like that. So the Glancing Hit is actually for her, is a good debuff for her specifically. Then we have the Melody of Resentment. This is what she's here for. She's not here for the Glancing Hit. No one thought she was here for the Glancing Hit anyway. Plays a song that decreases the HP of the enemy that gets returned by 5%. Not a crazy amount, but if they keep proccing, it could wind up being a crazy amount if they get 10 turns. Which happens in some, not as much in RTA, mostly Guild Wars. And decreases the attack power for 1 turn, 75% chance until the next turn starts. You become immune to inability effects. Your attack speed gets slowed down by half. You cannot attack together or counterattack while playing the song. So this is actually pretty important. Your attack speed slowed down by half, which allows her to be, this was a buff. She didn't initially do this. This was a buff which allows her to be in her song playing state more. Also, reusable in 2 turns. So this is actually usable quite a lot. And then we have the harmful effect rate going up over here as well. And then we have the Master Hands passive. So this works together. Master Hands uses Melody of Resentment, this skill, automatically. When you're attacked while not playing the song, the damage you receive will be decreased by 30% while playing the song. So it will be decreased, plus also attack speed gets slowed down, and immune to inability effects. So let's take a look at her garbage runes. Let's take a look at her speed. Amazing. Can you guys get 74 speed on a unit? You can't? Oh, that's a problem. Okay, so basically she just needs to be tanky. She needs to try to mitigate as much damage as possible. She is here. Yeah, that's right. I told you garbage runes. I told you she could work with garbage runes. So you just want to make her tanky. Some other good rune sets for her are shield is good on her, just based on where she is used, like what she's used for. Shield is good. Tolerance is good. Enhance is good. I mean, endure and some of there's other rune sets that are good. I just feel like I would prefer to have for her specific spot, because she is a counter pick. She's not just a pick anytime. Don't think that you're going to pick her in every single match. You're probably going to lose a lot if you try to do that. But she is a very situational counter pick unit against fast, aggressive turn cycling teams, which people like to do in Summoner's War. So enhanced tolerance, will, shield, those are ones, determination also as well. Those are ones that I would like to put on her. Remember, she also has that damage mitigation passive as well. So that is, I don't think that it was initially like that. I think she initially did not have that. So we have defense plus proportion to this. This is actually not supposed to be. We want as much damage taken from different units as possible. Minus, so damage taken from wind, damage taken from fire. That's what we want. Attack plus proportion to lost HP, complete garbage on here. We got HP over here, which is what we want. We have HP over here. We have skill 2 accuracy. We have speed within it. Actually, we don't necessarily need that on there. We just want her to take less damage. So, damage received, crit damage received from fire, from wind, from light, from dark, from whatever. That's what we want on her. We want some accuracy on skill 1, skill 2. We want some crit damage received as well. So that's what we want on her. And she's just on nonsense because she doesn't need to take a turn to actually go into her song playing state. She's just going to use it. You don't want her on no speed, but she doesn't need a crazy amount of speed. So I feel that a lot of people that are watching, that are mid-game, that are struggling against fast, aggressive comps, especially some LD comps, this could be a good option to just have at your disposal. I'm not saying put your best violent will set on here with 100 and... The people that I'm talking about do not have 190 speed plus 190 violent wheels runes. But this is... She can work with garbage runes, and it's just nice to have her at your disposal. Do I pick her every match? Absolutely not. Do I pick her maybe like 1 in 5 matches? Yeah, I could probably pick her in 1 in 5 matches against fast, aggressive comps. So anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. I think she's an underrated unit. See you guys, as always, in the next one.